So what is embodiment, this strange word? Well, it just means how we are. Yeah? It just means the way we are, our manner of being. You can think of it as our bodily context. I often say the body's like an operating system. It's the context through which we feel, through which we think, through which we perceive the world, through which we relate and we take action. So in this sense, I'm talking about the body as awareness, the subjective felt sense of the body inside out for awareness rather than, say, medical science, which studies the body outside in. It's not about learning some body language gestures. It's more about, as I said, awareness, attention, intention, posture, movement, breathing. These are the basic tools of embodiment. So the reason this matters is we're using this embodied sense of ourselves to do everything. This is how our cells are constructed in a way. Our history is in our bodies, and what we're capable of in the future is in our bodies, and it's the only way we can feel right now. So embodiment is about body awareness, but not just about being aware of the body as an object, as a thing, as a lump, but about being aware as a body. So the first person experience of the body. So what this awareness brings is choice. So rather than being victims of our sort of habitual modes that we've picked up from the past, the situation we happen to be in, we can then choose options which are more appropriate for the situation. In a world that's volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous, the VUCA as they call it, then that's incredibly important. We have that flexibility and adaptability. So you can think of embodiment as working in layers. So there's a certain layer which is just the context, like I'm being filmed right now, or you're sitting at home in your armchair, whatever it is. There's also the relationship. So, you know, my embodiment is slightly different with my partner than with my mum, my friend, or, you know, my colleague, whoever it is. There's a relational element to it. That's really important. There's also the longer-term dispositional element. So this is what we call our personality. We have a set of habitual patterns. Our embodiment leans us to be a particular kind of person, to do certain things, to have certain relationships. This is a sort of longer-term level of embodiment, and embodiment more fully. We also have a cultural embodiment. There's a part of me which is, you know, English, and part of me which is Irish from my heritage, and you know, I really notice that when I go abroad. And there's the universal level of embodiment. We're all human. So embodiment is how we feel, how we relate, how we do things in the world, the I, the we, and the it. Very simply, it's the way we are.
Oh, I thought I was just looking at one thing. Oh my God, there's Jupiter. Oh, what am I wearing? Oh my gosh!
So yeah, those are like sound canceling, so if you talk loud he can hear you, but if you
That was so cool! I literally could not tell what was real anymore, and the fact that I heard a noise, that I don't even know if that was in my apartment, but I thought for sure it was. I had to catch myself because I was literally blurring the lines between like what was real and what was in the game and what was in the game real world. Oh my God! If you have an Oculus Rift, play that. It is so...
Ultimately, it all comes down to the extent that the Oculus Rift, or any virtual reality for that matter, can create the concept known as presence. This is the subjective experience of being in a place that feels real. Now, in order to wrap our minds around this, we need to think a bit about how our brain interprets the environment and forms our own reality. Now, really, our experience of the world is just based on our brain's best guess of what the hell's going on, based on prior experience and sensory information. This is why it's actually quite easy to trick our brains. Psychologist Richard Wiseman regularly produces great videos and blogs on this topic, often using optical illusions and magic tricks as a way of demonstrating how fallible the brain really is. But the brain doesn't stop at inferring the now. In fact, in scientific circles, the brain is increasingly being argued as a highly sophisticated prediction machine. So, based on sensory information and previous experience, the brain is constantly predicting the future. And the more that these predictions line up with what actually happens, the more presence we feel. Now, fortunately for us and for the Oculus Rift, visual cues seem to be sufficient to give our brains at least a degree of presence. This is nicely demonstrated by some really nifty scientific experiments. Relying solely on visual cues, participants have been seen to react in virtual reality in some surprisingly real ways.
Oh, there's a white one.
Now look down.
You're all prepared for it. And it's just like dropping into a mirage, dropping straight down into a bubble of new life. It's beautiful. Yes, awe-inspiring. And the things that you can do with it, the feelings that you have. And it makes you downright sick to your stomach. You turn around so much. But that was me because my stomach felt it.
Yeah.
But honey, this is fantastic. I love it.
And you mentioned the stairs.
The stairs. I can climb stairs. Now normally when I go upstairs, it's a struggle, right?
Yeah.
You just take off and fly.
The Oculus Rift and combined elements from both the gaming industry and science education to create the most engaging, immersive virtual reality educational science platform.
You're in the cell now.
Accommodating the future demand of our next generation of young scientists.
Push forward on the joystick, everybody walks forward.